Okay, hello everyone, it's mysticjuicer here, doing a bit of after-the-fact casting. This is my first Internationally Yomi League set in Season 4. I am playing versus FreezeBug, a newer player. Unfortunately for me, well-trained during the men tournament by none other than the most dangerous Argagarg player in all the land, FraaOrolo. So I am expecting Argagarg here. I did see before I joined this game that he was practicing some BBB, so I'm expecting that. I'm actually a bit surprised to see him bring out the fish rather than the robot. But we'll take those. So he's confident that he can take this match, and I'm going to try my best to do that as well. So open with block. My general approach in this set is going to be to block a ton to get ace-ace, and to have the threat of rock armor. So I'm just going to block city here. I'm going to see what he's going to do. I think the typical play from Argagarg is to run a bunch of attacks, run actually a lot of attacks out against Rook, because the temptation is, Rook's got fairly card inexpensive or card efficient damage. So just run out some throws against Argagarg and then make that health disappear, get rid of hex damage and all that sort of stuff, but it's just not to be. So he sticks me the 5. I expected a cheeky cross-up attempt, and actually lose a joker as well on that, which is very, very unfortunate for me. Argagarg doesn't have huge damage off of his combos, but it would have been nice to reduce his hand size somewhat. I'm now in a very unfortunate position where I don't have any normal blocks of any kind, so I'm going to disguise that fact by just playing as if I'm being very, very aggressive. So king throw coming out, I'm probably going to end up draw another special block. Yeah, shaking my head here. I don't have basically any reason to block with the 5s at this point, and I don't have any value from blocking with the with 3s. So I run the jack out. I would rather throw the jack out there when I have 7 and 8 rather than just the 10, because now my hand is really, really low on damage. But do what you can, trying to disguise the fact that I don't have any blocks with some aggressive play. It's got me a bit of a lead, but I expect at any moment here he's going to switch to attacking me. So I'm just trying to milk as much damage out of this kind of atypical range for me in the early game. And unfortunately, it is the range that Argagarg really likes to punish. Yeah, and good damage off of that combo, evening things up quite nicely. Arg much better equipped to deal with a 7-card hand than Rook is. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do. At this point, I'm starting to think I'm probably going to power up those 5s, because they're much more valuable to me as aces in hand than anything else. Get to punish a throw, which is nice. I really can't afford to pump this with anything though, so just 9 damage. Widen the lead just slightly. But again, just unable to draw a normal block here. I'm going to start thinking about throwing with my 3. I really can't put jack on the table, because I've got absolutely nothing to follow it up with, and that's a dead giveaway that I've just got an awful, awful hand, and he should start going ham. Go for the 3 block, catch a queen, so deal a little bit of damage. If I can find a normal block here, I'm going to be in good shape, because I've got a good block set up. If I don't, I basically have nothing. Yeah, and I draw another 3, so I just have nothing here. I could try to go for the saddest thunderclap combo of 5 jack 5, but that's just terrible. So I figure I'll go for another block, probably. I could probably afford to throw here. Yeah, would have worked out. Okay, I've got ace-ace at least. That's nice. I've got that going for me. Now he is at 42 health. I could probably think about running ace-ace out here. He hasn't shown me a single ace block, but if he does run it out here, I'm going to be really, really sad. And there it is. The sadness. I actually didn't know. There's just something about the feeling. Like I haven't seen an ace at all in many turns. So the choice here is pretty bad. I'm probably gonna try to get away with some blocking here, or I'll just immediately throw. With such a low hand, Argard can afford to try to milk things by just poking with normal attacks. And if I run a throw into that kind of behavior, I'm going to be eating a lot of damage for very little reason. My 3 is also my only throw in hand, which is not great. So I'm very, very happy to, first of all, find... Oh, and I draw another normal block. My cup runneth over. But yeah, very, very happy to find another block, and I'm going to be extremely pleased. I can't believe this. These draws. Really, really awkward stuff. I've got no damage to speak of, so I'm still in that awkward position. I could try to set up a 4 attack after Wall of Vines into clap into 8. But I am going to try to poke out something. No. He's decided to go back to blocking and blocks out a very, very important tool for me in this matchup. Draw some more pairs, so I will have the ability to threaten ace-ace or checkmate buster if I get put in a very desperate position. Decided to go back to blocking. He's got 11 cards in hand. And yeah, very happy to avoid double ace there. That would have been horrifying to walk into in this position. I'm still kind of in this game right now. And I have even odd cross-up options here. Probably going to go for the 4 attack. It's the safest option I can throw out. Yeah, run right into the Joker. Puts ace-ace back into his hand. Awkward position for me here. I have never played FreezeBug before, so this is very much me trying to feel him out. So I don't know if he's the kind of player who's just going to put ace-ace on the table. I decide to take a bet that he's either going to block with an ace or attempt a cheeky throw. And I don't get either, but I do manage to end his advantage time. I'm still up on life by a little bit, and I've got a lot of 5s that I could diffuse Blowfish Spikes with. Very tempting to play it here. In this position, though, fairly likely, yeah, that he's going to do something like throw. Yeah, nodding to myself there. Like, it's so obvious that I want to block from that position. That throw is very, very nice. And I just did not press my advantage of trying to go for a cross-up attempt. So I'm at 30 now. I do not want to take 16 to be put down to 14. Not sure if I'm happy with the choice that I actually made there. Yeah, that's okay. With an 11 card hand, I'm fairly satisfied to take 2 damage to draw a few more cards. I decided to put 3 on the table rather than the 5 because I think a poke, yeah, hit confirm poke is much more likely. So the last time he was in this position with no ace-ace, he threw his way up. Now with 27 health, I might consider blocking here, because the temptation is going to be, oh, okay, well, you know, he signaled to me that he's not going to do anything on wake up, therefore I can probably get away with pushing a button, and then I would run right into blowfish spikes. But yes, managed to catch that, so I'm in a good position here. I'm hoping he doesn't have a counter. Okay, he does have the counter, but that's fine. It's still relatively okay for me. Check his discard just to confirm that he has 3 aces in there rather than 2. If there's 2, I would probably put another 5 on the table, just to catch the surprise. You totally didn't know I had it. Second round of ace-ace. He's also got 1 joker in the discard already, but he is holding about 1/3 of his remaining deck, so he could have the second one. Could go for a rock armor attempt here. Luckily, do not run into ace block. Try to bluff out a joker. I have not found one yet. And that is, in fact, lethal. I did not realize that was the case. I'm going to go rock armor anyway. There's no way I can reach him in time. He doesn't need to put anything on the table, but has the joker anyway. So closes out game 1. Very nicely played by FreezeBug. Had just enough damage to. I was not expecting that much damage to come out of his hand. With ace-ace, to my mind, diffused. So very nicely played. Yeah. Consolation pack. So I go for the rematch. That was okay. I got stuck with a kind of an awkward hand for a long time there, and still managed to play my way out of that situation fairly well. So he's opened both games with a anti-king move, so opening with a 6 attack in the first game, opening with a jack in the second. So continue blocking. 9 cards in hand, we're pretty close to having the threat of rock armor. He threw on the second turn last time, so I'm happy to try to bait another attack. Shows me a normal block. Slows my my hand growth somewhat. I have the 4-5-6 or the less fond 5-6-7 combo. Briefly thinking about whether I want to put the 4 attack out there, decide against it. And I'm happy to avoid walking that 4 into a block. 11 card hand now. It's rapidly becoming the time where I've got to think about, is he afraid enough of rock armor or an attack that I can throw him to set up a even better rock armor turn on the next one. And he's just continuing to block here. And every time he does that, and I let him go higher in hand, more uncomfortable I feel as I allow him to build to a bigger and bigger hand. Again, trying to set up a rock armor turn here without risking a throw, and he's just blocking me out. So he's cut up in hand, which isn't great for me. However, he hasn't shown me an ace block yet. He's just been normal blocking. So, which is why I'm considering the rock armor attempt here. And of course, as soon as I decide to do it, I run right into the ace block. So, nicely done. However, I've got a better handful of tools than I did the last time he got this off. I've got jacks if I want to play them. I may just go for a throw attempt here. Yeah. Hoping that this many cards in hand will signal the fact that I'm willing to be aggressive in some way. Instead, he plays a very conservative attack. It doesn't lose very hard to anything. I've got, 12 cards in hand, so it's very unlikely I'm not going to be aggressive. I should probably have led with the jack instead. But I was hoping that I could catch him being cheeky and sitting back on his lead. I should have been keeping track a little bit more of the state of my hand. And now that he's attacked once, I'm hoping he goes back to blocking or throwing. And I get my rock armor set up after all. Down a considerable amount of health, though. So I have to be smart about how I spend that resource going on. I do pick up a third 9, though, which is very nice. I'm considering either a 4 or probably a 7 cross-up in this position if I'm going odd. Yeah, hits me with the 3 attack. He's got enough of a life lead that he can profitably trade with me. Yeah, 3/4 king. It's fairly good damage. 15 damage, putting me way, way low. I've got a lot of catching up to do, and I've got... Yeah, I made a mistake there, I believe. I think I threw away a possible rock armor card on the bluff. So at this point, I've got to go dig deep into the Checkmate Buster vein. I paused for a little while there just to make him think that I care about the suit of the card that I'm getting. And I'm going to see if I can block something out here. So it's fairly good odds that he's either going to ace block or blowfish spikes here, I feel like. So I try to hedge against the thing that gives me the highest payoff. 16 damage for 1 card would have done a fair amount to get me back into this game. I've rapidly got to decide whether I'm using ace-ace as punishing and decide to throw that out as an attack. Managed to nab a 6, which is very nice. I think the what I didn't realize was that I think both of those attacks on those turns were just to catch Desperation Checkmate Buster, which is a fine thing to attempt. I draw a third 8, which is very nice. I now have, again, a decision to make whether I want to hang on to the aces, and I choose to, and then power up the 8s for Checkmate Buster, which I'm going to do now that he's at 50 health. Or 51 health, I should say. So he powers up for Blowfish Spikes, and we both have a choice to make here. It's fairly safe for him to wake up with just a poke of some kind, and instead wakes up with a throw, making me feel real bad, although I am impressed. It's really good pressure. I like the threat of Blowfish Spikes to push me off of pressing Checkmate Buster. At this point, he's just got to hit it. I've got to either hold on to it or get myself back to neutral and try to land that. Or try to land 2... and he blocks again, which I'm very surprised. I thought that was absolutely guaranteed to be some sort of cross-up attempt. Again, I've got to evaluate whether he, like, just how soft he's being to checkmate Buster. I want to try to bait out that ace-ace. Okay, I catch a king, so I'm glad I didn't throw it that turn. I can try to milk this this 26 health for as long as possible. I do have 2 10s and 2 6s that I can power up if I want to throw ace-ace out there. So I decide to try to go for it, and again, really not expecting him to play the blocks in that situation, but good read on his part, or good preparation to know that I'm not a huge fan of playing Checkmate Buster. Especially not from behind against a character that I typically consider to want to play a lot more pokes than he is currently playing. I'm going to try to block out blowfish spikes here. Yeah. So fairly confident that that was coming. I have to play it as patiently as possible. He's got a lot of cards in hand though, so it's not inconceivable that he could power up for it again. And he does go digging. That's 1 ace back in his hand. He's got 1 ace attached. Yeah, there are confirmed blowfish spikes again. He has lethal if he hits with blowfish spikes here. So it's very much play into blowfish spikes to prevent the throw, or block blowfish spikes again. And I figure that he's feeling confident enough that he can take it, that he won't play it raw, and instead he does, cleaning things out. So, well played. He goes up 2 games. Definitely in trouble. I've got to think about what I've seen so far. He's playing really smart. And taking some nice risks as well. He's not playing hyper conservative. Just playing really solid. And once again, we're back on no block hand. So, you know, be aggressive. Be aggressive. There we go. Catch the 9 throw. He's played anti-king for so long. Finally managed to catch him not protecting himself. Decide to go for turn 2 gold burst. It's very unlikely he's going to be doing any ace blocking at this point. So the worst thing that happens is he gets a card. The best thing that happens is I get 2 aces, which is very nice. So he was expecting a block, and instead gets caught. So I've got AA, I've got king. Gonna hold on to ace-ace, see if we can threaten Checkmate Buster and not play it some more. Okay, so catch another block. Put him down to 55. Working on a nice lead here. Just gotta find a block sometime before the end of this game. Got to evaluate whether I want to use that 10 as a follow-up to a jack, but decide it's probably better to spend it on a throw, and manage to sink it too, which is very nice. Put him down to 45. And now he's very confident we don't have any throws in hand, so he can feel very safe blocking. I have 5, 6, 7 as a straight. I'm going to play around ace block and manage to run into a 6 block instead. I have 3 7s, so I can put Checkmate Buster in hand. Yes. FreezeBug finally winning combat. Much to my consternation. So we threw him with a 10 and then attacked him with a 6. So he fairly likely knows that we've got kind of an awkward hand. We're probably not going to go for any attacks at this point. He could feel fairly confident either blocking or throwing. Instead, pokes out my throw. Again, signaling I don't have any good throws, but I'm not sure how much he actually believes that. Okay, we found a normal block. We did it. We've achieved our goal. We can now decide to power up those 7s at any time. So we now have basically 2 moves for the rest of the game. We can checkmate Buster, or we can block, or we can ace-ace. So 3 options. Yeah, trying to find my way back into this game. So again, evaluating how he played against this last time. He played soft to it twice in a row. This time, punishing my attempt to find it. I will throw away the normal block I just picked up because I've got another one. Pick up some more damage. At this point, he is at fairly close to lethal. Just go back to blocking some more. No reason to be aggressive. And again, he's playing fairly disrespectfully of Checkmate Buster here. Okay, single power up. That could mean Blowfish Spikes. Could mean Ace Block. Decide to go for normal throw. I don't want to lose all those aces if I don't absolutely have to. Getting 10 damage in and knockdown would be just fine. So he powered up with the ace, tempts me with the ace, I go for the throw, get punished. Gonna try to defuse ace-ace. Get thrown. The man has no fear. No fear and no respect. He's throwing his way, he's disrespecting his way back into this game. Puts me down to 35. Oh, sorry, 55. Yeah, just do it. At this point, no. You're being too cheeky, sir. Far, far too cheeky. Yeah. Ultimate Potemkin Buster puts me on the map. So, 1 game up. Gotta crawl our way back into this. It is not over till it is over. Alright, back in we go. Hey, we've got a normal block. Guess what we're going to do with it? I'm going to blog with it. I'm going to put that thing on the table, get some more cards. There we go. Our king, our first turn king last game has done everything it needed to. We're going to try to go to Block City here. See how well we do. He's been on point about throwing in the early game. Chooses to put a 2 out there. Very likely that he has a counter as backup. I think throwing the king out there is a bit of a mistake. It's very likely that he put the 2 out there just to fish for it. and he's going to play anti-king technology here. And that is in fact the case. Falling for the oldest trick in the book. Alright, so 5 into king, no other follow-up. Probably indicates no other high normals, because you'd probably... I'm fairly certain that you'd just throw the 5 on there, or the 6 if you had it. So, don't have the glorious Jack 7-8, so we're going to wait for a little bit longer. Hope we don't get thrown here. He's been really good about throwing me on high hands, so... I should probably take that as a signal that I should be more aggressive. And there you go, yeah. The 10 throw against 11 card rook. Yeah, yeah, Amigo Hunter knows. Knowing is real, yeah. So I mean, we've got damage. We've got damage around here. I could go for a 3-block setup of some kind. I think a cross-up attempt is fairly likely. Could also be an ace block attempt here. Alright, we chose correctly. Wake up throw. You know, 20% of the time it works all the time. Okay, we've got Jack 7-8. We're in there. We may, in fact, also have the resources for a 7 cross-up attempt. No, just stick the 10 out there. And we get the cross-up, that's great. We don't have to spend any cards. Just get the free damage. We're going to do the always classic combo of 10 Jack 8. Because why not? Because that's a thing that humans can do, right? And getting dangerously close to all special blocks here. And with all of those special blocks in hand, kind of clogging things up that I don't have any value cards that I can actually put on the table. If I throw with the 7, I'm just delaying any kind of damage if I draw a 6 that I could do Jack 6-7 into. So, you know, not thrilled about that idea. Yeah, and I nod to myself there because I'm starting to recognize I'm really being... I'm trying to chase his combat reveals, and I need to stop doing that. So I'm heavily considering throwing here just because I don't think I've really represented throw for 2 turns in a row very often, and managed to catch that. And you can see, yeah, the pattern that followed there. So he blocked to tempt the throw, and then beat the throw with an attack, and then tried to throw my block, which was, you know, I'm doing air quotes here, chasing his combat reveals. So I decide to put the pedal to the metal a little. I don't have great damage off of this, but I can do like 4, 5, 6, get another ace. That puts him fairly close to AA range. And yeah, managed to catch a wake-up throw. I'm really, really glad I started pushing buttons there, and happily picked up a queen. So now I've got to decide if I want 4, 5, 6 instead. Or no, sorry, that's an 8. Monitor's really fuzzy for some reason. So go for 18 damage instead. I can power up with 3s or 5s at this point if I really want to. Even jacks, just to get ace-ace in hand. I can try to go... So I've got a lot of pressure here. I've got a fairly high life total. So I'm going to put on the brakes a little bit and try to block my way into an advantageous position. Probably go for a rock armor-backed 5 attack. On knockdown. Draw king, play king. Absolutely. And again, I'm falling into that chasing behavior, but at this point, I think he's abandoned that strategy. And I managed to put him down to 10. got a lot of tools here. I'm probably going to power up those jacks to put the threat of ace-ace into hand. No? Okay. I should probably consider that. So thinking about either throwing this ace or blocking the unexpected ace-ace. He's got to do something to get back in this game. And he can do that by either really, really pushing on the brakes and hoping that, yeah, no, trying to force mentally the, yeah, okay, there's the power up for the second ace. So probably either didn't have it or wants me to think he didn't have it. Draw ace-ace of my own. I'm going to go for the other throw attempt here. And close out game 4, evening things out 2-2. So we fought our way back into the game, taking it to the ace match. He's played a very, very solid game so far. Gotta go grab some more water. Yeah, so he's played a very solid game so far. The unfortunate thing for me is, you know, he won the first 2 and then lost the second 2, and by fairly good margin on both of the last 2 games. So unfortunately, I don't think he's going to feel comfortable enough playing out the ace match with Argagarg. Especially since he has a pocket BBB, and BBB is a very, very strong pick against any kind of rook or Midori play. So, yeah, and he is in fact going to switch characters. Definitely a good move. You know, unless you're very, very confident in the matchup you're playing, switching to a counterpick matchup that you know well. Emphasis on that last part. If you know the counterpick matchup fairly well, probably smarter from a play-to-win perspective just to go to that. Okay, and we are back into it. Yeah, there we go. There's the BBB. So let's see, how well did we draw? Not great. So we have Jack 7-8, and then we've got Bupkis, unless we start drawing some good cards. So I'm hoping for an anti-king or just a poke play here. Yes, chat. Helpfully having my back, deriding this this filthy counterpicker. Yeah, we're going to cash in this, oh sorry, yeah, no, we're just going to cash in the 10 because we can power up the 8s for ace-ace. May have been better just to play Jack 7-8 and hope we get some more blocks. Play the line just so if we can, just to see if I can get away with blocking one turn. And do, so that's nice. Don't go to range immediately. Got a 4 attack, so I'm going to elect to play that, hoping to catch a 4 or a 6 attack. Unfortunately, do not have anything of real value to be able to play, and get undercut with a 2. But this is fine. The damage is basically going to be the same. If he tacks on an ace, that's a little bit of a meh. But yeah, doesn't even tack on the ace, so completely indifferent as if I had blocked that, except I guess I go up a few more cards. Draw into an ace, which is nice. But we have no intention of playing aces with nothing else in our hand, so we're just going to sit back and block. Take a bunch of 13 damage. See how willing he is to play stuff that isn't just queen. Yep. Yep. Winning combat. So I'm hoping he starts dodging here. Yeah. Trying to catch a gold burst or jack, desperation jack. At this point, I have a king and enough of a hand that I think I can get out and be okay. Unfortunately, end up losing ace-ace to an unexpected dodge. I didn't think he'd do it twice in a row, to be honest. Yeah, I'm going to immediately power up. I don't need 8s or 6s. I need the threat of a sub 1.0 speed attack. I'm going to try to get away with blocking one more turn. Get punished for it. I'm going to play the 3 here rather than the 5 to hold the 5s for the late game, where I can try to pressure and diffuse his ace-ace move in the late game. Try to reflect 21 damage. Also going for a cross-up attempt here, a possible cross-up attempt, or the threat of a block. A wake-up throw. Yeah, feels really rude there. I think he just had a good call that I was going to go for a block attempt there. So again, he has both tools. He's got the throw. He's got queen. I'm really happy that I'm able to get out with a 10 and not have to rock arm or anything. Draw a third ace. Very likely, yeah. We're just going to play the king here. He could, a lot of BBBs just come out of range with ace-ace immediately. Because odds are very good the rook does not want to be put back to range. And yeah, 21 damage, basically guaranteed, is really tough to take. So we are fairly even on life totals, but I can't really afford to go back to range for the rest of the game. Spending queens and holding on to ace-ace because I may need ace-ace just to get out of the oppressive 2.2 speed queen when we go back to range, if that happens. Yeah, there's the ace-ace, cashes out 21 damage. In this situation, you really want to be up. Like, I want to be at about his life total now after he spent that ace-ace. Unfortunate that I am not able to do that. So powers up for single ace. Okay, double ace. So the threat of 21 is real. I think it's very likely here that he's going to play a normal attack of some kind. So I am very likely to play the queen as an attack. Because the temptation is, as the rook player, to play the 5. Yeah, so that's why he plays the king. And I managed to catch that. Really wish I had a 4th ace in that situation. Might even have played Checkmate Buster there to try to close things out. So now that I've defended myself against his cheeky range play, I'm hoping that forces aces out. Does not. Ace-ace was the correct play there. Put him at 12 health. Put the pressure on him. Now I'm in a very tricky situation. So he's at 26. I still have a shot here. Notably, I have 3 aces and a pair, so that I can play ace-ace immediately if I want to. The question here is he going to play queen or is he going to dodge? And the jack that I'm highlighting would hedge against queen or king, and it would let me navigate out of range. You know, I'd be at low health, but I would still maintain all my aces. Instead, able to block out a dodge. So I have not played a joker yet. Should be using that to my advantage. So I play a normal block to make him think that I don't have a special block. Unfortunately, that does not end up working. Get rid of another dodge, at least. I think that is 4 at this point. So 4 more to go, and he's got a fourth of his deck in his hand. Yeah, still has dodges. 3 more to go. At any point, he's going to start just playing queens for basically free. He's got 10 cards in hand, so it's very likely he can refuel with ace-ace. Yeah, 5 dodges played, I think. 6 dodges played. My god. The draws on this man. Yeah, 3, yeah, okay. So 6 confirmed, 2 left. Gotta start considering playing ace-ace. Decide that now is the turn. Managed to poke out a 4. But I'm in that awkward position where I have ace-ace, but it is entirely outclassed by BBB's own ace-ace, and I simply do not have a special block to contend with that. So putting the threat of Checkmate Buster on the table, hoping that I can bait a slow normal out of him here. So again, my evaluation is he going to play ace-ace here and try to kill? Because he does have lethal if he has 3 aces. Or is he going to play something to punish me playing against the obvious move? And that is really the decision I have to bet the set on. So previously in game 1, I played against the safe play and lost, and here I do the exact same thing. Do not have the joker to be able to survive this, and bet it all on the king read, and unfortunately get killed for that. Yeah. So nicely played, FreezeBug. Very, very well played set. Hands me my first IYL loss. Unfortunate for me, but yeah. So we'll see how it goes for the rest of the season. I have recorded some more games. It takes some while to do commentary, so I will be releasing those as they come out. In the meantime, come join us. Come play Yomi. Links to buy it are in the description of the video below, as always. And as always, this is Mr. Juicer signing off. Enjoy yourself some Yomi. See you guys next time.